Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn Class 7 Science, Chapter 2 Nutrition in Animals. This is part 2 of the lesson. First part we learned about the mouth and the buccal cavity. In this part we are going to learn about the food pipe and other parts of the digestive system. Sometimes when you eat in a hurry, talk or laugh while eating, you may cough, get hiccups or a choking sensation. This happens when food particles enter the windpipe. The windpipe carries air from the nostrils to the lungs. It runs adjacent to the food pipe. But inside the throat, air and food share a common passage. Then, how is food prevented from entering the windpipe? During the act of swallowing, a flap-like valve closes the passage of the windpipe and guides the food into the food pipe. If by chance food particles enter the windpipe, we feel choked, get hiccups or cough. The food pipe or oesophagus. The swallowed food passes into the food pipe or oesophagus. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. Food is pushed down by the movement of the wall of the food pipe. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food downwards. At times, the food is not accepted by our stomach and is vomited out. The next part of the alimentary canal is the stomach. Stomach is a thick walled bag. Its shape is like a flattened J, and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It receives food from food pipe at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acids and digestive juices, on which the mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid present in our stomach is hydrochloric acid, which kills many bacteria that enter in our stomach along with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic and helps the digestive juices to act. The digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. The next part of the alimentary canal is small intestine. The small intestine is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meters long. Its length is almost about 7.5 meters. It receives secretions from the liver and pancreas. The small intestine receives secretions from the liver and the pancreas. Besides, its walls also secretes juices. The liver is the reddish-brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side of the body. It is the largest gland in the body. The liver secretes bile juice and that is stored in a sac called gallbladder. The bile juice plays an important role in the digestion of fats. The pancreas is a large cream-colored gland which is located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juices acts on the carbohydrates, proteins and fats and changes them into simpler forms. Then the partly digested food reaches the lower part of the small intestine. In the lower part of the small intestine, the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of food. The carbohydrates get broken into simple sugars such as glucose, fats into fatty acids, and proteins into amino acids. Absorption in the small intestine. The digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. The digested food pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. This process is called absorption. What is absorption? The digested food pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. This process is called absorption. The inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowth and is known as villi. Can you guess what the role of villi could be in the intestine? The villi increase the surface area for absorption. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. The surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. As we know, the surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. The absorbed substances are transported via the blood vessels. The absorbed substances are transported via blood vessels to the different organs of the body, where they were used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. This is called assimilation. This process is known as assimilation. In the cells, the glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water. As a result, energy is released. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. Next, we are going to learn about large intestine. The large intestine is wider and shorter than small intestine, and it is about 1.5 meter in length. Its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food materials. The remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as semi-solid phases. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is called egestion. The working of the stomach was discovered by a strange accident in 1822. A man named Alexis Saint Martin was badly hit by a shotgun. The bullet had seriously damaged the chest wall and made a hole in his stomach. He was brought to an American Army doctor, William Beaumont. The doctor saved the patient, but he could not close the hole properly and left it bandaged. Beaumont took it as a great opportunity to see the inside of the stomach through the hole. He made some wonderful observations. Beaumont found that the stomach was churning the food. Its wall secreted a fluid which could digest the food. He also observed that the end of the stomach opens into the intestine only after the digestion of the food inside the stomach is completed. This is the end of part 2, Nutrition in Animals. If you like my channel, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.